Oh, they're great. They're great. Rain starts trying to like hold her and pick her up. Like, can't do that yet.
Stressing you out?
Nah, not too much. Not too much.
So where are you? Start of camp. This is what year? This is
Year 8. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
No, go ahead.
No, just where are you? Start of camp.
Oh, no,
DeMar
I mean-
DeRozan, all the craziness here.
Just prepared, ready. It's been a long summer. It's been a long off season, so we don't want to have off season this long again. But I think a lot of guys have been here. A lot of guys have been getting work in, playing 5-on-5. So it's been good, and I think guys are ready.
How was your overseas trip? Looked like it was a little crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot. If anybody's ever, I don't know if any of y'all been to China.
Yeah.
No. Been to China?
Not with Steph though.
That was Steph, though. I can tell you that.
It's a lot. But it was cool. Great experience, and obviously seeing the way that they are over him, like it's another level.
Are you happy with how the shoe came out?
Yeah, definitely, and I'm excited for you guys to see more color.
Not to say that you're Mr. Incognito over there, but do you blend with when you're around him because so much focus is on him?
Definitely, a little bit, not like a whole bunch, but no, there's no words to describe how it was for him. I couldn't imagine being you. So.
But being a part of the growth of the game internationally, I mean, being able to make a trip like that to be recognized and help grow the game of basketball, for someone who just loves the game in general, I imagine that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. Being able to see the fans. Like it was one guy that like followed us for like 4 days.
Oh god.
Like 2.5 days. Like wild. Like he chased the car on feet, chased the car on a bike, on a moped. We got in a taxi once. Like it was.
Jesus Christ.
And then Steph gave him an autograph, right? And like the kid, he just stops. But there was another guy that was there next to him that didn't get one, and he's like mad. I'm like, bro, you don't know what he went through the last 2 days. Like you just saw him get that. You don't know what he actually did. But no, it was cool. It was a good experience for sure.
You're not encouraging people in Sacramento to do that, though, right?
No, don't do that. No.
As someone who's been here for years now, I mean, does it feel weird to step into a media day and not have Harrison Barnes around?
Yeah, it's funny 'cause I got asked the question, who am I most looking forward to playing against? I'm like, man, as a point guard, like every night you got somebody, so I don't really have anybody. I'm like, I guess it could be HB. Like he's been my longest teammate that I've had since I've been in the league, 5.5 years. So it's gonna be weird and different, not seeing him in the locker room.
But you know Chris is there. You know Chris is there though. You're gonna have to play against Chris.
Yeah, but.
Did you get to choose some of the performance features on your shoe, or was it all just
Oh, so like I was big on the strap because I don't know if y'all remember the Bloodlines, Brandon Jennings show. Like that was a big inspiration for me when coming to the shoe. Flow was a big part, so it's kind of the same as like the Curry ones. Yeah. So he's using that a lot, and I mean that's a big reason that I actually signed with Curry brand. When I started wearing them in December of 22. Yeah, December
22.
22, yeah. When I started wearing them in December of 22. I kind of had a foot problem, and that kind of went away as I wore them throughout the season. So that was a big factor. I'm like, if you like the performance of a shoe or of a shoe company, that makes it easy.
you like the court feel of it, or is it more?
The court feels great. The court feels great, and the cushion of it's great. So I think I want people to love the design, but I want people to love them even more, having them on your feet, being able to move them.
It's like the lateral containment pretty good on it too.
Yeah, everything. Like, I don't know if y'all ever see, sometimes I'll be walking, like I just trip, like if you don't pick your foot up, it just sticks to the ground. So that's a good problem to have for sure. What were you gonna say?
Are you expecting anybody else in the league to be rocking them?
I don't know. I think it'd be dope if that definitely happens. So I think it'd be cool. I think if people put the product on their feet, I think they'll love it.
DeMar getting the opportunity, or DeMar saying that he chose to come to Sacramento specifically because he feels this is the best place for him to come to win, to join to you guys and what you've been building over the last handful of years. How rewarding is that to hear a guy of his status say, I think this is my best chance?
I definitely think it's great. I mean, DeMar was drafted in 2009, and I told him, I was like, bro, I was in middle school. I was in middle school when you got drafted. I was either in 5th grade or in 6th grade, one of the two. I went to high school in 12, 13. So yeah, I think when he was drafted, I would have been going into the 6th grade, I want to say. So just being able to see the career that he's had and all the big games that he's played in, and then being able to play with him while he's still playing at a high level, I think is definitely a blessing. I think he adds a whole other dynamic to our team.
How would you describe that, his presence, what he brings, like the attributes, and just how you think he's going to fit in and what he can do?
Well, I think for starters is we draw the same type of defenders. So like 9 times out of 10, I'm being guarded with some type of wing. So I think we take the pressure off of each other in that aspect. But I think with him being on the court, whenever he has the ball in his hands, especially, I mean, he's one of the best ISO scorers in the league. He's been that for a long period of time. People talk about his age, him being 35 already, but I mean, he played the most minutes in the league last year. So your age doesn't matter. You're playing at a high level, and you're playing a lot of minutes. However old you are, it doesn't really matter. And then just his playmaking, being able to be on the court with him, him talking about if a double team's coming from this way or from this way, what he wants to happen. I definitely think his playmaking is a very underrated part of his game, and I think whenever you're actually in a gym with him and you kind of understand his thought process, you kind of see it.
How explosive can the offense be given that game?
I mean, he like I said, he gives us a whole other dynamic. I mean, he's one of the best ISO guys in the league. If you don't run a double at him, then he has a field day. And I think for us as a team, and for me as a player, he gets you open shots. He gets guys open shots. So with that, I mean, like I said, it adds a whole other dynamic to us as a team.
Go ahead. Oh, okay.
What was one of your focuses on the court this offseason that you wanted to bring it to this year?
I mean, obviously continue to be a better shooter. I think I shot 84 from the free throw line after All-Star break, so wanted to be a more consistent free throw shooter as well. Obviously, I think we are middle of the pack as a free throw team. Last year, we won 51, 52 games, and now you're not looking at the playoffs, not from the outside looking in. So in that aspect, and then like I said, just having DeMar on this team gives me a little bit. I wouldn't say like more freedom, but he'll get guys open shots. So I shot 39% from catch and shoot last year, but I was only shooting like 2 a game. So hopefully being able to get easier looks ups that percentage and don't have to shoot as many off the dribble threes, and then just being able to get my mid-range and my finishing to where it was before last year. And I think just the finishing, I had an ankle injury early in the season, so I think that kind of played a little bit into it, but just trying to be able to be a three-level scorer,
Darren, a lot is being made about who will get that starting job alongside you at guard. How excited are you to see that competition in training camp and see how it plays out?
I think competition is always great for a team. Like you go into it and you have guys that are like fighting for a spot, and obviously it's not, no one's out there going to be trying to hurt each other, but you get the best out of each other, you get the best out of a team when you're actually fighting for position. So I think it'll be a good battle.
You were expecting a big level player, right? I mean, going into summer, you thought you'd pretty confident you'd be able to land someone like him?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't even know who was all free agents, to be honest. So, but whenever we did, like I said, I mean, that's a great feeling knowing that you have a guy who is at the stage in his career where he wants to win, and he chooses you because he feels like he has a chance to win. So you have only a select few teams that can really be considered contenders, and we want to be one of those teams.
The excitement that you've shown for Domas when he got here was obviously through the roof. The pressure he takes off of you, I imagine it was probably similar with DeRozan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen what DeMar has done. I mean, DeMar's going to year, 15, 16, something like that. 16? Yeah, he's been in the league for a long time. He's played at an extremely high level for a long time. And he just adds to what we can do.
Talk about that culture that you guys have created the past few years, right? And that he wanted to come here. And how did you establish that, and how does that help you become a better player depending on your guys and the culture that you've really created here?
And I think we're still continuing to build that. I think obviously Mike and his staff it was an extreme shift from the previous season, but most of the guys who was on the team for that year weren't on the team the previous year, so they didn't see that. But you want to continue to build towards that, and that has to do with every single day that you're coming in here for practice or games, no matter who you're playing against. Like we always say, sometimes you're not going to play well. That just is the way that it is. That's we're human, but you come in with the same mentality no matter who you're playing against, and I think that's where cultures change. When you can have that same mentality, regardless if you're playing the best team in the league or the worst team in the league. If you don't shoot well, that is what it is, but you have to control the other things that you're able to control.
The way the last season ended, did that leave a sour taste in your mouth? Any motivation for this year?
Oh, definitely, because I felt like even after the playoff series, like last year, I felt like I was ready to play another month. Like I felt like I was in great shape. I feel like I was playing at a pretty high level for me personally. But as a team, we have to make sure that we're not in that position to lose one game and you're done.
Malik said Sacramento is home. You were obviously a big part of him initially coming here, but to watch him make the decision on his own to stay here and maybe turn down more money to remain here, how rewarding is that for you, being his friend as well as his teammate?
I think that has to do with just the culture that we've created as well. I don't think he would stay here for one person. So just what we've done as an organization, trying to build a winning organization, a winning culture. He saw that, and obviously he was able to see it firsthand. And I mean, just being able to have that, like, you have to start somewhere. And obviously we did make the playoffs the year before, and then we didn't make it last year, but you still continue to try to build winning habits. And I think he's done that as a player. He's seen us do that as a team and as an organization, and we want to continue to be a part of that.
What's that like for you? Because, like you said, with the roster turnover, a lot of guys didn't see the way things were before. You did. You've been here. So for you to see the culture change over your 7 seasons so far in the league, what's this been like?
I mean, I think it's been great. I think, like, you come in here every day and you feel it. Like, even going through a practice where you're probably not even doing much, you still see what the coaches are doing, how much work they're putting in, the attention to detail that they're going into with every single game. That was just a shift in its own, and you go into every single game feeling like you have a chance to win. So that's for anybody. And I mean, Malik been through it when, like, he was in Charlotte early in his career. But I tell Keegan all the time, brother, you're lucky that you didn't have to go through that. So we want to continue to build. We want to continue to build towards being a championship team. And you do that by acting like champions before you become champions. Like, no one who's won a championship is like, oh, I'm surprised that we won a championship. You have to be able to build those habits before you're able to win a championship.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.